Welcome. This isn't just another video. It's a rescue mission for your mind. You've been existing in a world that never quiets down. Your phone's constantly buzzing, your thoughts are always racing, and your heart has been burdened with overthinking, stress, guilt, and burnout for far too long. You wake up feeling exhausted, even after getting a full night's sleep. You feel weighed down, even when there's no apparent reason. You might put on a smile for the outside world, but inside, it's pure chaos. You're constantly thinking, scrolling, responding, reacting, but when was the last time you truly relaxed? I'm not talking about the fake relaxation where you're lying in bed, glued to your screen, or the superficial happiness where you laugh but feel empty inside. I'm talking about genuine relaxation where your body feels light, your thoughts are calm, and your heart is at peace. That's what this video is all about. It's not just going to help you relax your mind. It's going to help you understand it, fix it, calm it, and rediscover your inner peace. And if you're trying to improve your English, this video is perfect because every sentence is crafted with simple, clear language, allowing you to relax your mind while simultaneously practicing your English skills. It's like a combination of healing and learning. If you're watching this while feeling tired, broken, distracted, or stuck, I want you to know something. You're not lazy, and you're definitely not weak. You're just mentally overwhelmed. Today, we're going to empty that stress, quiet that noise, and give your mind the rest it's been craving. I'm going to share 15 calms with you, each one simple, powerful, and capable of changing your life. They're not just about relaxing your mind, but about helping you rediscover a sense of peace. So, let's begin this journey together. Calm number 1. Silence is a superpower. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you experienced complete silence? No phone, no music, no talking, just pure, unadulterated silence. Most people can't even endure 2 minutes of silence without instinctively reaching for their phone because silence feels uncomfortable. We're simply not used to it. But here's the truth. Silence isn't empty. Silence is where your mind gets a chance to reset. Right now, your brain is like a computer with hundreds of tabs open. Every notification, every voice, every video adds more noise, and you never give your mind the opportunity to close those tabs. That's why you feel overwhelmed, even when you're not doing anything. That's why your sleep isn't restful. That's why you feel tired even after resting. You don't need more entertainment. You need silence. There was a billionaire who had it all: money, power, success. Yet, he felt stressed every single day. He tried therapy. He tried vacations. He even bought a private island, but nothing seemed to work. One day, he encountered a monk in a forest who told him, "Your mind is like a cup of muddy water. If you keep shaking it, it will remain dirty. However, if you let it sit still, the dirt will settle." That's essentially what silence does. So, the billionaire started sitting in silence for 10 minutes every morning. No phone, no thoughts, just focusing on his breathing. Slowly, the mud began to settle. He didn't just feel rich, he felt peaceful. And that's the real wealth. Here's your first life-changing action. Sit in complete silence for 10 minutes every morning. No phone, no scrolling, no talking, just sit. Close your eyes and breathe. Will your mind scream at first? Yes. Will you feel uncomfortable? Yes. Will you want to quit? Absolutely. But if you persevere, you'll experience something you've long forgotten: peace. Science has proven that even 10 minutes of silence a day reduces stress hormones, heals brain fatigue, improves focus, enhances emotional control, and repairs the nervous system. This isn't just spiritual mumbo-jumbo. It's biological fact. Silence isn't laziness, and it's not boredom. It's therapy. You charge your phone every day, but you don't charge your mind. That's why it crashes. Silence is your charger. Sit, breathe, be still, because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. Calm number 2. Stay in the moment. Your mind isn't tired because of your life. It's tired because it constantly abandons the present moment. You might be physically present in a room, but your thoughts are elsewhere, dwelling on past memories, mistakes, and pain, or projecting into the future, creating fear, worry, and pressure. Your body is here, but your mind is everywhere else, and that's precisely why you feel lost. If you seek peace, you must bring your mind back home to the present moment. What is the present moment? It's now. Not the clock, not the date. It's what's happening right in front of you. It's the feeling of water on your hands as you wash them, the sound of your breath, the sensation of your body sitting on a chair, the quiet space between two thoughts. But you've trained your brain to ignore it. Your brain is addicted to the past and the future because that's where drama resides. However, the present moment contains no drama. It simply is. And that's why it feels boring to many people. But do you know what's hidden within that boring silence? Peace. There was an old man who worked at a small tea shop for 50 years. He poured tea, cleaned tables, and observed the world around him. A young boy once asked him, "How do you live such a peaceful life?" The man replied, "I only do one thing at a time. When I pour tea, I only pour tea. When I drink it, I feel the cup, the heat, the taste, and I smile. I don't try to escape it because this moment is everything I have." That's not weakness, that's wisdom. What happens when you stay in a moment? Your breath slows down, your thoughts cease their incessant battles. Your body feels lighter, and your fear vanishes. You realize that nothing bad is actually happening right now. Most pain stems from imagination, not reality. And when you bring your mind back to the present, you stop living in a story and start living in truth. Choose one simple activity, like walking, eating, brushing your teeth, or drinking water, and do it with complete awareness. No phone, no multitasking, just feel it. The taste, the temperature, the touch, the texture, the breath. Even 2 minutes of this each day will begin to retrain your brain to relax. It's not easy at first. Your mind will wander, but each time you bring it back, you're building mental strength. Your life isn't in the past. It's not in your phone, and it's not in your fears. Your life is here, right now. And if you miss this moment, you miss everything. Peace isn't something you find later. Peace is this moment fully felt. Calm number 3, let go of everything. You can't relax your mind while clinging to everything that causes it pain. You hold on to guilt, to mistakes, to people who left, to words that wounded you, to things that didn't happen, to things you wish you could change. But let me share something that could potentially change your life forever. You're suffering not because of what happened, but because you refuse to let it go. What does it truly mean to let go? Letting go doesn't mean forgetting, and it doesn't mean losing. Letting go means setting yourself free. It means you stop reliving the pain, you stop fueling the anger, and you stop replaying the same mental movie over and over again. Letting go isn't a sign of weakness. It's the strongest decision you can make when your heart is weary of carrying what it was never meant to hold. There was a girl who carried a heavy rock on her back every day. Nobody forced her to, but she believed that carrying it made her strong. Over time, her back started to hurt. She couldn't walk fast, and she couldn't sleep well. Someone asked her, "Why are you still carrying that rock?" She replied, "Because I've carried it for so long, I forgot I could put it down." She had built her identity around the pain. But peace only arrived the day she dropped it. You too might be carrying an emotional rock. Let this video be the moment you say, "Enough." You don't just let go once, you let go again and again. Every time the thought returns, you release it. You tell yourself, that story is over. That pain is no longer mine. That person can no longer live in my head rent-free. You remind yourself that healing doesn't mean erasing the past. It means it no longer controls you. Sit down, close your eyes, think of one thing that's currently hurting your mind, and then say out loud, if you can, "I release this. I let it go. I forgive myself. I choose peace." Say it once, say it twice, say it 100 times if you need to, but keep saying it until your heart believes it. You'll never relax your mind by adding more to it. You relax your mind by letting go. And sometimes the only thing standing between you and peace is the decision to say, "I no longer want to suffer from this." Let it go. Not for them, not for the past, but for your future. Calm number 4, accept people as they are. Most of your mental stress doesn't stem from what people do. It stems from your expectations of how they should behave. You expect them to be kind, you expect them to understand, you expect them to apologize, You expect them to change. You expect them to support you, remember your feelings, think like you, and feel like you, but they don't. And when reality clashes with your expectations, your mind starts to fight. You try to control people, you try to fix them, and you keep thinking, why can't they just be normal? And that thought destroys your peace. Let this truth sink in. You can't relax your mind while trying to control other people's behavior. Imagine you're looking into a mirror, but the reflection isn't smiling. It looks angry. You keep asking, why is it so negative? Why can't it smile back? But you never realize that the mirror reflects you. Other people aren't mirrors. They're not here to give you what you want. They're living their own stories, dealing with their own wounds, and following their own patterns. And when you stop trying to change them, you finally grant your mind permission to rest. Accepting someone doesn't mean you agree with them. It doesn't mean you're weak or passive. It means you stop wasting your energy on what you cannot control. You don't accept because they're right. You accept because you deserve peace. Let people be loud. Let them be messy. Let them think they're always right. Let them talk behind your back. Let them show off. And let them stay stuck in their own thinking. It's not your job to fix them. Your only job is to protect your mind space. What happens when you accept people? Your stress reduces. Your emotional reactions decrease. You stop arguing in your head, and you stop building imaginary fights. You begin to feel peace because you've given up on the impossible. You can't carry peace and judgment at the same time. You have to drop one. Choose peace. Next time someone behaves in a way you don't like, say this to yourself. That's just how they are. I don't have to fight it. I don't have to fix it. I accept it so I can stay calm. Every time you say this, your emotional strength grows. You regain control, not of them, but of yourself. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means growing up. You aren't responsible for how people live. You're only responsible for how you react. And the moment you stop needing people to change is the moment your mind begins to heal. Calm number 5. Breathe like a master. You breathe every second of every day, but most people do it without awareness. Your breath is the most powerful tool to calm your mind, but it's also the most ignored. When you're anxious, your breath becomes short. When you're angry, your breath becomes tight. When you're sad, your breath becomes heavy. And when you're scared, your breath disappears. Your emotions ride on your breath. So, if you can control your breath, you can control your emotions. What is conscious breathing? It means you don't just breathe automatically. You breathe with focus. You control the rhythm, and you use it to relax, to slow down, and to return to your center. It's not spiritual, it's not religious, it's biological, it's science, and it's free. There was a martial artist who had to face a dangerous opponent. The enemy was faster, louder, and more aggressive, but the martial artist remained still, calm, and focused. Someone asked him later, "How were you so calm during the fight?" He replied, "I don't fight thoughts with thoughts. I fight them with breath. Even in the most intense moments, I return to my breath because breath is home." Here's a powerful breathing exercise you can do anywhere. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds, and exhale slowly for 8 seconds. Repeat this 5 times. That's it. No phone, no music, no meditation app, just you and your breath. You'll feel your heartbeat slow down, your thoughts will lose their power, your chest will feel lighter, and your nervous system will start to repair. This isn't a trick, it's ancient wisdom backed by modern science. When should you use this? Before sleep? After an argument? Before an important meeting or exam? When your heart is racing? When your thoughts are attacking you? Or when you simply want to feel safe again? You're one breath away from peace, but you've forgotten how to use it. Your breath isn't just air. It's power, it's medicine, and it's a door to stillness. Use it with respect, use it with focus, and watch your entire mind begin to slow down, soften, and heal. Calm number 6, discover yourself. You spend your whole life learning about other people. You know what celebrities are doing, who's trending, what your friends are eating, wearing, buying, and thinking. You even know what strangers are doing online. But let me ask you a question. Do you know yourself? Not your name, your job, your role in the family, or what people say you are, but who are you really? When nobody's watching, Is your mind restless because life is hard? Or is it restless because you don't know yourself? And when you don't know who you are, you start copying the world. You try to become what others accept. You chase what others desire. You follow paths that aren't yours. And you live in a personality that doesn't fit your soul. And that's why you feel lost. Your mind can never relax in someone else's identity. There was a theater actor who forgot his lines on stage. He kept performing, hoping nobody would notice, but inside, he was panicking because he didn't know what his character was supposed to say or who he was supposed to be. The same thing is happening in your mind. You wake up and put on a mask. You smile when you don't feel like smiling. You agree when you want to scream, and you scroll when you want to rest. You keep performing, but deep inside, your soul is whispering, "This isn't me." What happens when you discover yourself? Your anxiety reduces. You stop comparing yourself. You feel lighter because you're not pretending. You become more focused because you know your path, and you begin to live your own story, not someone else's script. How do you start? You don't need to go to a forest, and you don't need to leave everything behind. Just do this simple thing. Take a pen and a notebook and answer these questions with complete honesty. What makes me feel alive? What am I afraid to admit about myself? When do I feel most at peace? What kind of life would I live if nobody judged me? Write slowly, don't filter, and don't lie. This isn't about being correct. It's about being real. You can't relax your mind in a costume. You can only relax when you return to your true skin. Stop trying to fit in. You weren't born to perform. You were born to be. And the more you discover yourself, the more your mind can finally breathe in the peace of authenticity. Calm number 7. Clean your environment. Your mind is connected to your surroundings. You might think your thoughts are random, but they're not. They're constantly shaped by what you see around you. A dirty desk, a messy bed, an overloaded phone screen, a disorganized shelf, a room full of things you never use. All of it is silently screaming inside your head. You're not just living in a space, your mind is living in that space too. Why does clutter equal chaos? Clutter isn't just physical, it's mental weight. Every item you leave scattered, every notification you leave unanswered, every task half finished is an open loop in your brain. It whispers, "Finish me, fix me, clean me, handle me." And when your environment is full of these open loops, your mind can't find silence. It feels like you're carrying noise everywhere. There was a woman who kept an old drawer full of random papers, receipts, expired cards, old letters, and broken pens. Every time she opened it, she felt a tiny wave of stress, but she never touched it. She said, "It's just a drawer. It doesn't matter." One day, she finally emptied it. She threw out what she didn't need, cleaned the space, and closed it. That night, she slept better because even small spaces carry energy, and when you clean them, you clean your mind too. You don't need to clean your whole house. Start with one drawer, one corner, one app on your phone, one old file, or one bag of clothes. And every time you remove something from your environment, you create a little more space inside your head. You're not lazy. You're just surrounded by invisible pressure. Clean your space, and you'll discover something priceless underneath the mess. Peace. Calm number 8. Free yourself in every situation. Life is full of situations you can't control. A rude boss, a delayed train, a loud neighbor, a fake friend, a slow internet connection, a stressful exam, or a difficult family member. You can't escape every storm, but you can choose how to stand in the middle of it. And that's where true peace begins. What does it mean to be free inside? It means this. You aren't a prisoner of your reaction. You don't give others control over your mind, and you don't attach your peace to the behavior of the world. Most people live like emotional slaves. One insult, and they lose control. One delay, and they explode. One rejection, and they collapse. This isn't life. This is emotional slavery. Freedom begins when you stop handing over your remote control to the outside world. A man was meditating in a quiet room when someone outside slammed a door loudly. Everyone else jumped, got angry, and complained, but the man didn't move. Someone asked him, "Why didn't it disturb you?" He replied, "Because the sound didn't control me. Only I control me." That's not just meditation. That's freedom. Next time something triggers you, pause. Don't react. Instead, ask yourself, do I really need to give my peace away for this? Can I stay calm, even if they don't? Is my reaction helping me or hurting me? Most situations don't require an emotional explosion. They require emotional strength. True freedom isn't walking away from life. True freedom is walking through life without becoming a prisoner of every situation. You aren't a victim. You're a vessel. You carry your own peace, and you decide your mental weather. Choose freedom, and your mind will finally exhale. Calm number 9. Slow down everything you do. In today's world, everything is fast. Fast scrolling, fast eating, fast talking, fast results, fast emotions, fast judgment, fast decisions, and fast failure. And do you know what the cost of all this speed is? Your peace. Speed creates pressure. Pressure creates panic. Panic creates mistakes. And mistakes create regret. Your mind isn't a machine. It was never designed to live in fast forward. It needs space, it needs time, and it needs slowness. We've been conditioned to think that fast is efficient, fast is smart, fast is powerful, and fast is success. But the truth is, fast is often chaotic. You rush to eat and feel tired afterward. You rush to answer and say something you regret. You rush to scroll and waste an hour. You rush to reply and misunderstand the person. When you live fast, you live on the surface, but when you slow down, you live with presence, power, and peace. There's a famous chef in Japan who made only one dish every day, sushi. People waited months to get a seat in his restaurant. When a young apprentice asked him, "Why do you cut the fish so slowly?" He replied, "Because the knife isn't just touching the food, it's touching the energy of the meal, and energy should never be rushed." That's the kind of care your mind needs. Slow isn't weak. Slow is sacred. Try this today. Eat slowly, chew, taste, and breathe. Speak slowly, feel your words, and think first. Walk slowly and observe your steps. Wash your face slowly and touch your skin. Drink water slowly and feel it enter your body. Turn small things into soft, healing moments. This is how you begin to train your brain that life isn't an emergency. Don't rush your life like it's a to-do list. Slow it down like it's a beautiful song. Because when you slow down, your heart catches up, your breath settles, and your mind finally says, "Thank you for giving me space to live again." Calm number 10. Talk to yourself with respect. What if I told you that the most dangerous person in your life isn't someone outside, but the voice inside your own mind? That quiet voice that tells you you're not good enough. You're always messing things up. Nobody will ever understand you. You're lazy, stupid, and you'll never change. You hear that voice all day, but you never stop to ask, would I talk to someone I love like this? Your mind becomes what it hears the most. So, if you speak to yourself with hate, you'll begin to believe that you're worthless. If you speak to yourself with fear, you'll start living like a victim. But if you speak to yourself with kindness, your brain starts to heal, it starts to believe in peace, and it starts to work with you, not against you. In an experiment, 2 identical plants were placed in 2 different rooms. One plant was exposed to daily kind words. "You are beautiful, you're growing strong, and you bring life to this space." The other plant was exposed to daily mean words. "You're ugly, you're useless, and you're dying." Guess what happened? The first plant grew tall, green, and healthy, while the second plant shriveled and stopped growing. Now ask yourself, what are you saying to your own mind every day? Every morning and night, tell yourself these 3 things out loud. 1, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. 2, I forgive myself for yesterday. 3, I deserve peace today. Repeat it every day, because repetition is how the brain rewires itself. This isn't silly. This is survival. You don't need another person to destroy your peace. You do it to yourself every time you speak with disrespect. If you want to relax your mind, you must first protect your heart from the sharp knives of your own voice. Treat yourself with the love you keep waiting for from others, because your mind is always listening and it believes everything you tell it. Calm yourself. Focus on doing one thing at a time. Multitasking is practically celebrated these days, but it's actually a form of mental self-harm. People are texting while they're eating, scrolling while they're talking, thinking about other things while they're walking, watching something on a screen while they're replying to a message, and generally just existing without truly living in the moment. Your brain is constantly being pulled in a dozen different directions, and you might think you're accomplishing more, but the truth is you're just doing more. You're less focused, less present, less peaceful, and less connected to what's actually happening. Multitasking isn't productivity, it's mental pollution. Every time you switch between tasks, your brain needs time to readjust. You're not really doing two things at once. You're just rapidly switching back and forth between them, which drains your energy, focus, and clarity with each switch. Your memory suffers, your stress levels increase, and your creativity gets stifled. You might not even remember what you read, watched, or said because your brain was never fully engaged in the first place. Think about a busy hospital, a brilliant doctor, but too many patients, too many charts, and too many alarms going off. One day, this doctor was talking to a nurse while reviewing another patient's file and simultaneously answering a call from his assistant. He accidentally wrote the wrong prescription. Luckily, another nurse caught the mistake before it could cause harm, but it could have been fatal. He later said in an interview, "I wasn't tired, and I wasn't being careless. I was just trying to do too many things at once." Even the sharpest minds can crumble under the weight of too many open tabs. So, next time you're doing something, just focus on that one thing. When you're eating, just eat, no scrolling. When you're reading, just read, no replying to messages. When you're walking, just walk, no planning out your day. When you're listening, just listen, no interrupting. When you're working, just work, no checking notifications. Give each moment your undivided attention, and your mind will reward you with peace. A distracted mind is a tired mind, and a tired mind is a noisy mind, and a noisy mind can never find peace. Do less, but do it with your full attention. Slow down and be fully present, because one profound moment is worth more than 1,000 shallow ones. Calm yourself by protecting what you see. You've probably heard the saying, "You are what you eat," but here's a deeper truth. You are what you see. Your eyes aren't just cameras, they're gateways to your brain, and whatever you let in through those gateways becomes a part of your inner world. Most people don't realize this, so they spend hours scrolling through feeds filled with violence, gossip, fake beauty, arguments, and disasters. Then they wonder why they feel so weighed down, why they can't relax, or why they're always stressed. The answer is simple. Your mind can't stay peaceful if your eyes are constantly consuming chaos. Imagine you're sitting in a peaceful room. The sun is shining, the trees are still, and the air is calm, but your window is covered in dirt, so you can't see the beauty outside. You only see darkness, fog, and confusion. Now imagine cleaning that window. Suddenly, everything looks peaceful again. The outside world didn't change. Your window did. Your screen, your feed, and your phone are your window to the world. If you constantly watch drama, jealousy, comparison, and pain, that's what your brain will start to believe life is all about. But when you clean up your visual input, you'll start to see peace again. So what can you do? Take a look around. Look at your screen, your apps, your walls, and your social media feeds, and ask yourself, is this image helping my mind or hurting it? Unfollow toxic pages, delete unnecessary apps, and set a peaceful photo as your lock screen. Spend more time looking at the sky, trees, and sunlight, and watch less drama. Choose visuals that are calming, slow, and honest. You're not weak. You're just being visually poisoned. Your eyes aren't just for entertainment. They're for peaceful awareness. Protect what you see, because once something enters your brain, you can't unsee it. Change your visual input, and your mind will start to feel clean again. Calm yourself by disconnecting to reconnect. Your phone is always on, the world is constantly calling, and the noise is always available. But the question is, are you available for yourself? You've become so accustomed to being connected to everything else that you've become disconnected from the one thing that matters most, your own mind. We live in a world where people feel guilty for being unavailable. They worry, what if someone needs me? What if I miss something important? What if I don't reply fast enough? But here's the truth. If you never disconnect from others, you'll never truly connect with yourself. Your brain has its limits, your nervous system needs rest, and your soul needs silence. Yet, you're online from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep. That's not connection. That's mental slavery. Imagine a power cord connected to 10 different devices at once. A fan, a heater, a lamp, a speaker, a microwave, and a blender, all running simultaneously. What happens? The cord overheats, and if it keeps going, it'll burn out. That's your brain. Every notification, every message, every video, every reel, every buzz, and every alarm is like another device plugged into that cord, overloading your system. If you don't unplug, you'll break down. Disconnecting isn't laziness, and it's not antisocial. It's mental recovery. Try this today. Leave your phone in another room for a couple of hours. Turn off all notifications except for emergency ones. Go for a walk without your phone, eat without your phone, and sleep far away from your phone. Don't check your messages until a couple of hours after you wake up. You might feel strange at first, but soon you'll feel alive again. You're not missing anything important online. You're missing yourself. Disconnect from the noise so you can reconnect with your own thoughts, your own breath, and your own peace. Calm yourself by forgiving quickly, or you'll burn slowly. Some people might not be in your life anymore, but they still live in your mind. They still control your peace, and they still occupy a room in your head. Why? Because you haven't forgiven them. You're still holding on to the story, replaying the scene, feeling the wound, and carrying the fire. But here's the truth. Forgiveness isn't for them. It's for your own mental freedom. Anger isn't just an emotion. It's a fire, and when you keep it bottled up inside, it doesn't burn the other person. It burns you. Your breath becomes shallow. Your sleep becomes restless. Your thoughts become sharp, and your mind becomes heavy. Day by day, you stop truly living, not because of what happened, but because of what you refuse to let go of. There's a volcano in Iceland that hasn't erupted in centuries, but scientists say it's still holding pressure deep underground. It looks calm on the surface, but inside, it's boiling. Now, imagine carrying that volcano inside you, that pressure, that fire, and that boiling rage. Even if you smile, you'll never be fully at peace. Forgiveness is what melts the pressure, and forgiveness is what turns fire into freedom. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, and it doesn't mean saying that what they did was okay. It doesn't mean letting them back into your life. It simply means that you will no longer carry their shadow in your mind. You choose peace over poison, and you choose healing over replaying the past. Practice this today. Sit in silence and think of one person who hurt you deeply. Say to yourself, I release you. I release the story. I choose to forgive, not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace. Say it again and again until the pain feels lighter. You can't relax a mind that's on fire. Forgiveness is the water. Use it. Because the longer you hold onto the past, the heavier your future becomes. Let go and forgive quickly, or you'll burn slowly and silently. Calm yourself by seeing life as it is. Your mind can't relax if it's always fighting against life. And that's what most people do every single day, not physically or openly, but mentally. You wake up angry because you didn't get enough sleep. You feel sad because your life doesn't look like someone else's. You feel frustrated because things aren't going your way. You feel anxious because people aren't acting the way you want them to. You feel stuck because reality isn't matching your imagination. You're constantly at war with what already is. But here's the truth. The first step to peace is to stop fighting reality, because reality isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. Suffering doesn't come from what happens. It comes from what you expected to happen. You expected a person to love you back. You expected success to be fast. You expected life to be fair. And you expected the world to see your worth. You expected peace without change. And you expected healing without pain. But life doesn't move based on expectations. It moves based on truth. Until you stop arguing with the truth, your mind will never rest. Imagine a river flowing through the mountains. Sometimes it flows fast, sometimes slow, sometimes it floods, and sometimes it dries up. But here's what the river never does. It never says, I'm sorry I went too fast. And it never asks, am I going in the right direction? It never says, I wish I was a tree or a mountain. It just flows. It accepts its nature, moves with the rocks, around the bends and through the storms. It never resists its path, and that's why it keeps moving forward. But your mind resists everything. It asks, why did this happen? Why me? Why now? Why didn't it go the way I wanted? Why does life feel unfair? That's why your mind is tired. You're swimming against the current every day instead. What if you just floated? What if you trusted the current? What if for once you stopped fighting with what is and simply said, this is my life, and I will face it fully. I will feel it fully. That's the beginning of peace. To see life as it is means you stop expecting people to behave perfectly. You accept that some days will feel empty. You allow yourself to fail without shame. You see pain not as punishment, but as a message. You understand that joy and loss will both visit you, and both will pass. It means you open your eyes without filters, without illusions, without running away, without complaining, and without trying to escape. And when you do that, something strange happens. You become free, not because life became easy, but because you stopped needing it to be. Practice this today. Sit still, close your eyes, and say this slowly. I will stop running. I will stop blaming. I will stop wishing life was different. I will open my eyes and see things as they are. I will meet life where it is, not where I want it to be. Then take a deep breath. That breath is the start of your real peace. Stop fighting life. It doesn't owe you comfort, it doesn't follow your script, and it won't always feel fair. But it will always teach you something if you're willing to see it with clear eyes. Don't wait for life to become perfect to feel peace. Feel peace now by saying, this is my life, and I will meet it with courage, not resistance. That is true relaxation, and that is the final calm. If you made it this far, I want to say something to you directly with honesty and full respect. You are not broken, you are not weak, you are not behind, and you are not lazy. You're just mentally full, and you're just emotionally tired. You are just human in a world that's forgotten how to rest. This wasn't made to impress you. It was made to heal you. It was made to give you a space where your thoughts could sit down, where your breath could soften, where your emotions could stop fighting, and where your mind could feel, not fix. If even one moment of calm helped you today, I've done my job. But if you felt something shift deep inside you, then I ask you for just one thing. Subscribe. Not for me, but for your own peace. Because this isn't just content. It's a space, a quiet place in a loud world, a reminder to come home to your breath, your mind, and yourself, so that no matter how fast the world becomes, you remain calm.